Hello everybody, hope you're doing good and staying safe wherever you are. I'm Ray and welcome to my YouTube channel. So basically I posted two questions of the week, and one was about marriage, and if you haven't checked it out, I'll link it down below, and the other one was about divorce, which I'll be talking about now. The question was, how does divorce affect children? So this is what I'm going to be telling you about, and I really connected with this so much because I'm from a divorced family myself. My mom and dad divorced, and it was one heck of an emotional journey, I'm not gonna lie. And the worst thing is that they never told me. I just found out as I was growing up, basically. So I was in a high school, boarding school at that time, and remember when I came back for a holiday, my dad was not home, so I did not ask anything because I just thought that my dad was not coming home because of some reasons. Like back in where we were staying, it was there were a lot of criminal activities taking place. So many people were just like being robbed, and I thought that was one of the reasons that my dad was not coming home again, and I felt like wherever he was just safe. And yeah, that was just my childish brain thinking. It was one big reason, but then it seemed it wasn't. And I felt like I knew what was happening because I remember going back to school after the holiday and writing down on my diary like these exact words. I wish I could find out that diary right now and show you. These are the exact words I say. I remember exactly what I wrote, and I wrote, "It takes a foolish person to not know that our family is falling apart. My dad is not coming home anymore." So I felt like I knew what exactly was happening, but I just was in denial and did not want to accept that my family was falling apart and my dad and mom are divorced. And I kept it hidden to all my friends, even when I just, because I think I right now is when I am actually accepting that they're divorced. But even when you could ask me like last year, then I definitely will tell you that my dad is not coming home for other reasons, like he is just not coming home because of the criminal activities taking place and all that stuff. But now I feel like if you ask me, I'll gladly tell you that they're divorced. Not gladly, but very well, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm just gonna tell you that they're divorced, and that is it. And yeah, that's just basically it. So that was what happened, and they got divorced and they never told me about it, and I just found out as I was days were going by. I found out about it, and I feel like if you do getting a divorce, please don't leave the children out of the loop. Tell them whatever it is happening. Let them know of the changes that are gonna come, because if you don't, then it's gonna take a toll in them, as it took on me. I went through so much, and I'm grateful that I had my notebook to write, because I'm not good with talking to people. So I'll sit down and write, and I just felt peaceful doing that. So yeah, let's just get on with this video. So after that short story about my life, I'm gonna get straight into how divorce affects children. Hope you enjoy and stay tuned for the rest of the video so that you find out how much actually divorce affects children. You are gonna be surprised. So the first effect that divorce has is that it will lead to poor performance in academics for the kid. And I went it through myself 100% for sure. I went through it, and I remember I was, I'm not bragging over here, like, but most people tell me I was so smart, but then when I entered like high school, I just became dull. And the first year that I went there, I did so good, but then after, when I came back home and found out that my dad was not coming anymore, I remember going back to school, and it just, my performance came on, began deteriorating, and everyone just thought that I was playing too much, but in reality I was trying so hard. I just cannot even, I could not understand how I kept on just failing. Like, I did not fail, but I still was not like performing so well. So I remember I used to sleep late at night just studying, and I struggled so hard studying, but in the end it just gave me bad results. So I believe now that I was doing the research, I actually knew why I was getting those bad performances. So yeah, they're gonna lead to poor performance because he's gonna be having that toll in him, like he or her. It's just like it will forever be in his head. Like it's a stress thing that you just have it in your mind that my parents are this, like you cannot concentrate on your studies. Even when the teachers in class, you feel like you're just, your head is all over the place. Even if you're a kid, like I believe when you're like 8 years old, you begin understanding stuff. And going up, I was 13 when I was in high school, and I just, that was a very bad age to go through that, because at teenager, every single person knows how teenagers are. So I felt that at that time it just was stressing me out. I kept on asking myself and answering, because I did not find the strength to just go directly ask my mom, because how we were brought up is that we did not have a close relationship, like telling your parents, oh I love you, oh mom, asking your parents like questions like normal kids will do. But we just did, I could not. Maybe for my other siblings they could, but I felt like I just kept something to myself up until someone notices it, and then just directly asks me if I'm okay or anything. But yeah, so basically I could not just go straight up and ask my mama what is happening. So I just kept on thinking about what is going on, why is it happening. And I felt like even when the teacher was in class, I just was not there. So it definitely affects the academics of a kid. And then the second effect it has is a loss of interest in social activity. Definitely, like there were clubs where you could join in our school, high school where I was, like there were debates club, English club, I think Red Cross clubs. But I was scared of people, and I just kept it to myself most of the time with my diary. I remember I had a Hannah Montana diary that I still have it. I'm just gonna have to search for it for a long time, because I don't remember where it actually is. I'm gonna try to find it and show you on my next video. So I had a Hannah Montana little diary. So I remember we had an open field. It was so huge and pretty, and the cows were grazing. So we would, whenever like we were not in class, I would find time and just sit on an open field and just write whatever I was feeling inside. That is how my social life was, basically me and my diary. So they, when a kid going through that divorce, they just don't feel comfortable like sharing with others, thinking that the others are just having a happy married life, and they're just, people are gonna laugh at them or something. Because if your parents are not working out, if they're divorced, then when you see others with their families, and you feel like you are a weirdo and you're incomplete, and just having being next to others is just not gonna be good, because you'll feel like you're tainting their lives, because your life is not good and theirs is good. So you just kind of just push yourself away from people and just leave yourself be on your own. That is bad. It just leads to so much depression. And I am glad I had a notebook to just write down. I feel like others just don't even think about writing, and they just keep on mixing up and just keep adding up all the stress into their head, and that is super bad. So I feel like my Hannah Montana diary really actually helped me, because whenever I was feeling sad or lonely, I would just sit down and write down whatever I was feeling, and I felt like that really helped me. So maybe I'd like to advise, if you are a teenager or if you're grown up going through that, your parents are fighting, or you're going through a divorce yourself, I feel like if you do not have anyone to talk to, then definitely just sit down and write all your thoughts down. Or you could just record yourself speaking up. Then definitely you feel like you just talk to someone, like even if you're not gonna post it to social media, just you yourself and your camera, just do it, and then it will feel like you just talked to someone. So definitely do that, so that it just decreases the amount of depression that you're gonna have. Then the other one is difficult adapting to change. That definitely happened to me. It was so difficult to adapt to the change that my dad is not coming home, because I will definitely, the good thing is that I was in boarding school, so I just didn't feel it much more, my dad. But when I came back home, then that definitely I felt it. And it was just, I was used to it. Like my dad would come home at 8 p.m. in the evening, and we will open up for him the door, and he will be carrying lots of fruits or something nice for us. And it got me excited and happy just seeing him, and sitting down talking to him, watching news together, and having to not hear him and not opening the door for him and not having him there. It just felt so bad. Like it felt like your air is being sucked out from you every single time. You could not breathe. I just hated it. Every 8 p.m. I remember I would just sit on the sitting room and the couch area, and I was like wishing and hoping that my dad will come home, and he never did. So yeah, it was difficult for them to adapt to change, that they're not no longer maybe they're not gonna be seeing the other parent. For example, if the kid is going to go with the dad, then obviously he or she is not going to be seeing the mom for some time. Or if it's going with the mom, then he or she is not going to be seeing the dad for some time. Or you just add someone new, like if you're the mom who just was divorced, then you get another man, you get married. They are just gonna not easily adapt to it, and they're gonna be a loner for most of the time. They might close themselves into a room or something. And yeah, that's basically how my life went by. I just felt so alone. And yeah, let's go to the I'm sorry, I'm just putting on a smiley face because I do not want to cry, because I'm not a crybaby. So I'm trying so hard and not to just let my tears come, because it was an emotional journey for me, and it still is. I'm not gonna lie, I still do miss him. And I wish that we were just one big happy family. But yeah, things happen, and life just moves on, so you just have to accept it. Now that I'm growing up, I just kind of realized that. But it is still painful. So the other point is emotionally sensitive. So basically, this is like being pregnant or being in your periods thing, something like that. Because when you just someone shouts at you, even if it's a tiny bit of shouting, hey, you just get scared. And for me, mostly if a teacher scolded me like, why did you not do your homework, I immediately cried. Because it was not because that he was actually telling me off. It's because I just had those emotions inside me, and just being pricked a single bit of it, then my tears would just flow off. I would just cry, or sometimes just become sad out of nowhere, like even if no one I remember there was one day that I felt completely sad and alone, and I just did not go to class. I kind of broke a rule that day, but thank God it was a Saturday, so mostly teachers don't concentrate on Saturdays, like they're the weekends. So I remember not going to class, just going to, like, there was a prayer room back in a boarding school, so I kept on myself there. And I remember the shade, like the shadow of the shade, I don't really know what it means, but there was a girl, a friend of mine, she broke my cup, like it was a glass of cup, and I got angry at her really bad. And she actually thought I got angry because of the cup, but in reality it just was so filled up. I was so tired. I just wanted to go home, see my dad, be with my dad. So I feel like emotionally sensitive, that is what happens when the divorce and all that happens, because it did happen for me. I'll just get angry for no reason, or get sad for no reason, or begin crying for no reason. But I believe there was a bigger reason, and that was the divorce that was happening, or not seeing my dad whenever I went home. So the other point is that divorce can leave children feeling overwhelmed, anger, feelings of loss, confusion, and anxiety. So that it's basically emotional. It's not another point, basically. I think it's connected with being emotionally sensitive, because I have anxiety attacks even right now. Because if someone from my family just calls me, I panicked, feeling that something bad happens. And I believe it's because of that. I'm not sure, but and the feeling of loss, I feel I have that feeling every single day. I miss him so badly, and up until now I still wish they could get back together, just saying. Anyway, let's just be done with the emotional and sensitive. The other one's feelings of guilt. Definitely, I did not have that. I did feel like I did blame my mom, but I never blamed myself. So that is one part I think that I never went through, because I knew I was a good kid and I was proud of myself. My dad loved me and I loved him, so I just never blamed myself for that. I seriously knew that my mom was the one to be blamed for it. So, but other kids go through it, they tend to think that it's their fault that the parents are getting divorced. Even if you just broke a vase, you'd be like, oh, I broke the vase, and that's why my mom and dad are divorcing and all that stuff. So I believe that kids go through that stage of feeling guilty, that they are the reason that why the parents are getting a divorce. So the other point is rebelling through destructive behavior. So after seeing that maybe you're not divorced yet, but you're planning to get a divorce, and the kids just find out. I never went through that, seriously, I'm not gonna lie. I never went through maybe I did go through a rebelling. Wait a minute, rebelling destructive behavior does not mean only using drugs. Now that I'm thinking about it, I went through it because I blamed my mom, and I just did stuff like I will just get angry with her for no reason, and she'll ask me to do something and not do it at all because I blamed her for the divorce. So I just kind of did a revenge thing with her. Like she'll ask me to do something, I definitely won't do it. She would call me and I won't not respond. It's a bad, kids, don't do it. Listen here, do not do that. It's very bad. Mothers are so important, and when the divorce happened, it happened, so we just had to move on and not keep on holding back. So I feel like most kids do that, like when just trying, maybe it's a kind of a revenge thing that they do. Like they tend to maybe do something so that they get noticed, because they think that it's their fault for the divorce and that you do not care about him anymore, and that's why you're deciding to just get a divorce. So he or she tends to do stuff so that he or she gets noticed, like maybe doing drugs or just stealing something or just doing something bad. I am not thinking about anything right now, I'm so sorry, but doing something just awful so that you get noticed, or maybe be suspended from school, doing something at school so that you get suspended, so that you might think that you're just gonna bring your parents together just by doing that. But kids, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're going through a divorce, or if you're a child, you're a teenager going through a divorce, please don't do it, because it's not your fault. I'm telling you now, it's not your fault. Whatever they have, it's their own problem. Just don't get yourself into it. Yes, do try to talk to them and try to see if you could just mend the relationship, but if not, then just don't blame yourself and don't do anything stupid so that you can just get the attention. You have all the attention, trust me. They both love you. It is just the circumstances that are just leading to the divorce. Maybe the love is not there anymore, maybe the trust is not there anymore. So yeah, there's so many reasons people will get a divorce, so it's not just gonna be your fault. So the last point is loss of faith in marriage and family unit. Definitely, I think I am going through that. I am at a phase where I just kind of, I'm afraid of committing to someone, and even if like a boy texts me and asks me out, I just kind of throw them off, and I think about oh, I just don't think about there and then. I think about the aftermath, and I'm like, oh, why if you get married? I just find reasons it's just not to go out, and my best friends are like complaining that you should have a social life with boys, get a boyfriend or something. I've never had a boyfriend, so they're like so complaining. You should do this, you should do that, but I'm scared of committing myself to anyone, because I feel like what my thought is that by the end of it all, no matter how what we go through, we're just gonna get divorced, and we're just gonna just separate, and nothing is gonna go ahead. That's why I'm not just engaging myself with anyone. And it is bad, yes. I think I should see a psychiatrist or something, but inshallah, I'm just gonna get over all that, inshallah. But if you're going, that is also an effect for that children are gonna have on a divorce. They are gonna lose a faith in marriage. They think that all marriages are like that because they just saw what happened, and they're just gonna believe that once you get married, the only aftermath is divorce, and that's not true. People do stay married for years and they die together, or the first one dies and then the other one falls, they get married and stay for a lot of years together. And yeah, even if your parents did not have a good marriage, then just don't look at them alone. Look at other parents or other relationships or other couples who got married and stay way too long with each other, and you're just gonna find out that your parents are not the only ones just getting divorces. There's so many other parents getting divorced also, but there are also others who are staying happily married in their marriage, and they just lived not happily ever after, because I don't think there is a happily ever after. Like, there are problems that are gonna get into a marriage, but in the end they just stay together. So yeah, don't just look at your parents and say that, oh, marriages are not good. Look at other marriages with couples who have stayed married for a long time, and you see that there's a big difference. So that was it for this video. I hope it was not too long. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and if you want to be part of any live discussions that we are going to be having here, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon for notification while you are at it. Also, go ahead and comment down below if you have any problems, if you have any struggles, if you have any issues, then do comment down below. Or you can also go ahead and comment through my Facebook page, Ray Rashid, which I will link down in the description box below. Also, go ahead and watch my other videos, my marriage videos and my trust videos. They will be linked down in the description box below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you beautiful people on my next video. Bye bye.